Welcome to our information video, and in a strange sort of way, welcome to St Aidan's. Needless to say, we would very much have preferred this meeting to be in person, but in the circumstances, we hope that our information video will convey a very warm welcome and provide you with some much needed information that will help you to decide whether St Aidan's is the right school for your child. We're proud that we are a comprehensive school, catering for children of all abilities, backgrounds and cultures in our catchment area. And it means that every child is important, because every child is seen as a child of God. We have the privilege and the responsibility, along with you, to work with them in the next stage of their lives, helping them to develop into rounded, caring individuals who will go out into society knowing what is good and true and putting it into practice in their lives. Every child in the main school, years 7 to 11, will have access to high-profile religious studies taught by 7 specialist teachers. The study of Christianity, alongside other world religions, recognises the need for children to be aware of and educated in various beliefs and practices, leading to understanding and tolerance of all people.
The curriculum is suited to each and every pupil, and our results year after year are testament to this way of working. What this means in practice is that we have pupils in every year group that have different needs and different challenges, including some who are the most academically able young people in the country, some who may be particularly gifted and talented in one area, and some who may be good all-rounders. In other words, we cater for and are successful with as diverse a collection of pupils as you could imagine. The message we hear, and I hope you do too, is not only about the success of our pupils, but that they enjoy being at St Aidan's too. Clearly this requires teaching to be of the highest standard, and for all of us to have high expectations of our pupils. We stress the importance of the quality of relationships in everything we do, and this comes together to produce outstanding outcomes. St Aidan's pupils are extremely highly regarded, both by us and by employers, universities, local organisations and the like. And this is because of the relationships forged at school in so many different ways.
Hello, my name is Simon Taylor. I'm head of Year 7 at St Aidan School. So I'm going to describe for you today a typical day for a Year 7 student at St Aidan's. So our school day starts at 8:45. So at 8:45 we want the students standing behind the chairs, looking fantastic, raring and ready to go, and then the form tutor takes the register. Now 2 mornings a week we have assemblies, and the assemblies are an important part of what we do at St Aidan's, so we do take them quite seriously. We ask the students to come into the hall in silence, uniform looking spot on, and then we do a couple of things. So we always sing a hymn, which is lovely because the Year 7s don't need much encouragement to make a fantastic sound, and then we have a speaker, either someone from outside or one of our members of staff, to deliver assembly, either a religious assembly or just an informative, thought-provoking assembly. So we do those 2 mornings a week. The other 3 mornings a week, a student will spend time with the form tutor and the rest of the people in their form. Now the form groups are really important for us at St Aidan's. They're one of the ways that we help students to settle into the school, and we do quite a few different things to encourage bonding within the form. So for example, in Year 7, most of the subjects in Year 7 we teach all the students that are within the form group together as a form group. We also do things, for example, they've got their own form room so that students can go into the form room and be with the other members of the form at break times and lunchtime time away from everybody else. We have a residential quite early on in the year so that they can get to know people within their form and do a bit of bonding there as well. So the form groups are really important. It's basically like a little family within the school for our students. So that happens in the morning, that's form time, and then we're straight into lessons. Now at St Aidan's we've got 5 lessons in the day, they're all 1 hour long. I'll talk a bit more about the subjects that students taught at St Aidan's a little bit later on. So students leave their form room or leave assembly, they go straight to period 1 for an hour long lesson, straight after period 1, straight into period 2 for an hour, and at the end of period 2 they get a little break and they have a break time. Break time lasts about 20 minutes, and at break time they can go for a snack in the main hall, they could go to the Year 7 play area, which is a space outside just for Year 7 students. They could go back to their form room, for example, if they just want a space away from everybody else. And that lasts about 20 minutes, and then we're going straight into period 3. And period 3 is another hour long lesson. At the end of period 3 we're into lunchtime, And there's lots going on at lunchtime. Now, first of all, Year 7's got their own dining hall, which is great, so we can train them up how we want them to behave in the lunch hall without the bigger boys and girls breathing down their necks. And they have their own little menu in there with the selection of food. But the other important thing going on at lunchtime is we've got lots of our extracurricular clubs happen at lunchtime. Now, we'll just take a moment to talk about extracurricular activities because there's a lot going on at St Aidan's. So if you're a musical person, there's a whole range of musical groups you could join. There's girls choir, boys choir, junior choir, there's Sage, which is a jazz group, we've got junior band, we've got a strings group, we've got world music group, which is drumming. If you're a sporty person, we do a whole range of sports, and we do different sports in different seasons. So football, hockey, netball, basketball, table tennis we're doing at the moment. We've got badminton, cross country, athletics, a whole range of different sports, and we compete in those sports locally, and we also compete in national competitions as well. But then there's a whole range of other clubs. So we've got all the classics like Science Club, we've had a debating club before, we've got a reading club, a writing club, at one point we had a Pokemon club, I'm sure. All sorts of different clubs that students can take part in. Many of those happen at lunchtime and some of them happen after school. So that brings us to the end of lunch. Now we've got 2 more periods and both hour-long lessons. So period 4 is an hour-long lesson. Then we're into period 5, which is also an hour-long lesson. Now at this point, maybe it is worth just having a quick chat about the sorts of subjects that students are taught in Year 7. Now, we have 13 different subjects we teach to students in Year 7. And again, it's this idea of trying to get a balance between a breadth of experience, but also having enough time in the curriculum to give them some real depth. So the subjects that students are taught in Year 7 include English, Maths, Science, Art, IT, Music, History, Geography, RS, PE, Modern Foreign Languages, which in this case is French, and then we also do 3 different DT subjects over the year as well. Okay, so we think that represents a really good balance between breadth and depth for our students. So that brings us to the end of the day. So the end of period 5, students are welcome to go home, but they may stay behind after school to take part in a club. But eventually students will go home. And when they go home, they'll have some homework to do, and then hopefully they'll get a good night's sleep and be raring and ready to go and come back to us the next day for more fun.
The things I love about St Aidan's are making new friends, lunchtime, as that's probably my favourite part of the day, and all the lessons because they're very fun and you have wide opportunities throughout them.
As you move into Year 7, you will find that there are lots of amazing opportunities to make friends, such as form time, which is my favourite time of the day.
At St Aidan's there are loads of extracurricular clubs you can do. I do strings orchestra and girls choir. Also you can go on loads of trips, like last year I went to Ullswater.
The teachers give you loads of support at St Aidan's. Every morning we have a period named Form Time where we get to speak with our tutor and have fun with our friends. We get to chat about our mornings and what we're going to do in that particular day. The teachers give you loads of support throughout lessons. You can ask them questions and they always make sure you're okay at school.
Hello, my name is Kate Douglas and I'm an assistant head here at St Aidan's, and part of my role is coordinating transition and induction. So one of the many important decisions we make about our children's lives is which secondary school we send them to. And I'm sure you've been looking at other schools trying to gain a feeling of what each school is like. Hopefully from our communications we can give you a feeling of what it's like to be here at St Aidan's School. I was talking to the new Year 7 the other day and asking them what their concerns were this time last year. Alongside the obvious that they were the big ones still at primary school, they were still worried about the usual high school questions, such as which school will I be going to? Will my friends be going with me? Will I get lost? How much homework will I have? And obviously most importantly, can I have an extra cake at lunchtime? So our induction process helps them in settling in and getting to know them. We try hard to get to know every individual student because every one of your children matters to us. We don't want anonymous children who get lost in an academic system. We want to get to know your child, what makes them tick, what their interests and hobbies are. By the end of the first half term, we know they found their feet because they definitely get a little bit louder and they're loving being at secondary school. And at that time, we know how important it is to feed back to parents in the all-important settling in process, and we organise an evening where parents can meet the form tutor to see how well they have settled into school. As a school, we are well recognised as providing a safe and supportive environment for all of our children. Our pastoral system includes a head of year that is dedicated to their year group and will stay with their group from year 8 to 11, helping them along the way to achieve their best. We have a highly experienced learning support department and independent learning centre for extra support both at Key Stage 3 and at 4. We also have learning mentors and a school counsellor that is on hand to support and guidance as well. It is also important to us that we have clear expectations for learning, and we have our school code. Each part of the code underpins the day-to-day experience in and out of lessons. Part of a tutor and teacher's role is to reinforce these expectations for success, and we explain this in greater detail at our Key Stage 3 evening for Year 7 parents. Academic achievement and wellness is a balance at times, and our staff will go that extra mile to make sure our students succeed in all aspects, but most importantly that they feel safe and that they are happy at school.
I hope that you found this information useful. Please do not hesitate to contact us, and we look forward to welcoming you to St Aidan's in the very near future.